Hello. I wanted to come on here today to talk to you about a little something. It is actually this water, the stuff life is made of. You know, this liquid gold, the stuff that people kill over. That's right. This clear stuff that we drink, bathe, cook, wash our clothes in, wash our bodies in. This stuff is going to be, and actually is, the new oil, the new gold. This is going to be the stuff that in the future your children are going to fight for. Let's face it, we've got a whole cornucopia of things wrong right now with this planet, with this country. And I watched a really disturbing video on Netflix about California and the water heist. Have a listen.
There's probably no landscape in the world that has been more manipulated than California. From the very beginning, it was about capturing water and moving it from where it was to where it wasn't. Because of that manipulation of water, a great civilization has risen. We've created two world-class cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco. And in the middle, we created the most fertile farm belt the world's ever known. But the growth of suburbia, the growth of agriculture, and the demands of the environment, all those things are putting immense pressure on this system. And the system has started to crack. They've been pumping and pumping and pumping from these aquifers that have taken hundreds, if not thousands of years to build up. Water has become gold to be traded and sold, and we're extracting it in the same way. But it's not enough. The more water we need, the more water we will always need.
You see, the criminal cabal, or the monster, the beast, as I call it, the tentacles of greed, reach out far and wide. And the corruption knows no end. And sometimes that corruption and that greed is right underneath your nose and you have no idea it's even there. It is sometimes so subtle and so ingenious in the way that they are able to cash in that you don't even know it's there, but it is. We have a water crisis like we've never seen, ever, in this country. Due in part by natural drought, due in part, whatever your belief is, my thinking is it's largely due to climate change. But the fact is that we still have water. I don't know if you know this, but 70% of our world's fresh water is locked in ice at the bottom of the world in Antarctica. As that ice is melting, the water becomes part of the surrounding ocean and seas, and it becomes full of, salt and saline. So then the amount of fresh water that we have stored in the ice is becoming less and less. But here in this country, we have a system of what they call aquifers, and they are under the surface of the land. There's a system, a whole system of its own, of these natural-made aquifers that store water naturally. And in the areas where they're removing water for different purposes, different greedy purposes, these areas of the country are beginning to sink because the balance of the ground on top and the water below is no longer there. The water below sort of works as a built-in structure, a leveling structure for the land. So that's one problem. And we can see how sinkholes and things like that can form. But the even larger problem is the fact that we are not paying any attention in this country and around the world, really. We're not paying attention to the fact that the water is being stolen right out from underneath our noses. Big corporations that keep hauling in more and more money to make money off of water. Water has become an industry now, like oil. And water wars are beginning to happen. Billionaires are stealing water through back doors in political organizations to water their crops, to continue to make more and more money. And yet the people, the poor people at the bottom, are the ones suffering for the loss of the water. What did they do? They steal the water, take the money, sell the water back to these farmers to make these products or grow these crops to sell back to us. Do we stop to think that, yes, we might have food, but what are we going to do without water? What will happen to all of us without water? We cannot live without it. It is just so insane. It's just insane what has been allowed to happen here. And it's a crime what is happening to people in this country and around the world because of this greed machine. I urge you to pop onto Netflix if you have it. Look for Water and Power. It's about the California water heist. Or if you don't have Netflix, I think you can still watch the documentary online on YouTube or on Documentary Heaven maybe. But I urge you, please take some time to watch it. You know, what are you going to have to give up? Some TV show, some lame TV show, a sporting event? I'm not saying that you should give those up completely. That wouldn't be my right to ask you to do that anyway. I'm just asking you to take an hour of your time, sit down and watch this. Maybe watch this with your family. It's an eye-opening experience. You will not think of water the same again.